In a world that is constantly surrounded by noise and haste, it may appear to be a daunting task to find ways to differentiate oneself from the crowd and establish genuine connections. However, what if I told you that the secret to having a magnetic presence is not the volume of your voice, but rather the subtlety of your being? When you watch this video, you are extended an invitation to discover together the secrets of a silent charm, which is a charm that ensures your presence is noticed and remembered even in the most quiet of settings. We will delve into practices and routines that highlight the beauty of authenticity, including non-verbal communication, personal style, the ideal choice of fragrance, refined etiquette, and a great deal more. The goal of these practices and routines is to highlight what is already distinctive about you in a way that is understated yet profoundly appealing. You have arrived at the right location if you are looking for ways to increase your allure without having to utter a single word. Right now is the time to connect with these practices that have the potential to transform you and to immerse yourself in the knowledge that can alter the way the world perceives you and the way it experiences your presence. I would like to extend an invitation to you to subscribe to the channel and enable notifications before we proceed with our exploration of the world of silent attraction. By doing so, you will ensure that you do not miss any of our content that has been specifically designed to assist you in developing a more fulfilling life and more meaningful connections. Are you prepared to make your presence something that will be passed down for generations to come? If you're ready, leave a comment with the number 1 to let us know. Let's start our journey, the acceptance of authenticity. At the core of the human experience, the act of embracing authenticity emerges as a singular odyssey that outlines the contours of being in its most unadulterated form. An individual's authenticity is not merely a characteristic or a superficial adornment, rather, it is the ultimate expression of the individual's internal truth. It is a living manifesto of the individual's inalienable convictions and values. In this context, being authentic is not simply an act of standing out in a crowd for being unique, rather, it is a courageous invitation to dive deep into oneself, emerging not with a mask that is shaped by the expectations of others, but with the true face that is carved by one's own personal experiences and beliefs. This process of self-affirmation and self-discovery is neither linear nor devoid of obstacles, rather, it is quite the opposite. On the other hand, in order to stay true to one's essence, even when the storms of doubt and conformity attempt to divert the course, it is necessary to engage in constant introspection and to have the courage to persevere through difficulty. Consequently, those individuals who place a high value on sincerity and depth, not only as admirable qualities but also as fundamental pillars for the development of meaningful human relationships, appear to be drawn to authenticity like a beacon. This type of connection, which is founded on trust and respect for one another, goes beyond the superficiality of everyday interactions, resulting in the formation of bonds that serve as both safe havens and spaces for the development and inspiration of both parties involved. A person's image in society is improved when they demonstrate genuineness in the way that they live their life and interact with the world. This not only redefines the concept of social influence, but also strengthens the image of the individual in society. True influence is not a matter of numbers or fleeting popularity, rather, it is measured by the long-lasting impact that an authentic being can have on the hearts and minds of those around them, inspiring others to embark on their own journeys toward authenticity. Discovering oneself through the world of fashion. Each piece of clothing, each color that is adopted, and each texture that is chosen becomes a narrative fragment of the identity of the person who wears it. Clothing, which is a fabric of silent manifestations, unfolds as a vast field of self-expression. In the realm of fashion, the act of dressing transforms into an intimate dialogue with the world, a way to communicate without words the distinctive essence of each individual being. This is in contrast to the common perception that dressing is merely an exercise in vanity or conformity. In this context, fashion transcends its utilitarian function of covering the body and assumes the role of personal language. It plays the role of a visual alphabet composed of choices and preferences that reflect not only the personality of the individual, but also the life narratives, beliefs, and values of the individual. Therefore, the selection of clothing is not based on the impulse to follow fleeting fashion trends. Rather, it is based on the deliberate intention to communicate to the world who you are, to reveal through fabrics and forms the complexity and richness of your inner being. The act of selecting garments that are congruent with your body type and personality is not only a form of self-affirmation, but it is also a practice in developing self-awareness and confidence. If you align your outer expression with your inner truth, you will not only present yourself to the world in an authentic manner, but you will also attract people and opportunities that resonate with your essence. Because of this alignment, a visible harmony is created between being and appearing, between identity and the image that is projected, which strengthens both one's perception of themselves and their presence in the world. Furthermore, fashion, as a mode of expression, provides an infinite space for experimentation and discovery. This enables every individual to investigate various aspects of themselves and to engage in play with the myriad of identities that comprise their own identity. Not only does each choice of clothing, each unusual combination, and each touch of color or pattern tell a story, but it also invites the observer to delve into the depths of that personal narrative, thereby promoting a deeper and more nuanced understanding of the person who is behind the look, enhancing communication that is subtly verbal. When it comes to the vast universe of human interaction, communication goes beyond the boundaries of the verbal, navigating the deep and frequently turbulent waters of the unsaid. The act of non-verbal communication, which is comprised of a symphony of postures, facial expressions, gestures, and gazes, functions as a silent mirror of the soul, reflecting not only our most profound emotions and intentions, but also our openness to the world around us. Even without uttering a single word, posture, which is the foundation of non-verbal communication, conveys a great deal of information. A stance that is both upright and open not only helps us feel more confident in ourselves, but it also sends a message that we are strong and willing to engage in conversation with others. This encourages them to interact with us while maintaining a positive attitude. In a similar manner, facial expressions, which are instantaneous portraits of our emotional states, act as bridges of empathy, enabling a more profound comprehension of feelings and predispositions. Eye contact, on the other hand, is the thread that connects two beings in a moment of genuine communication. It is a direct channel to the soul that can express sincerity, interest, and mutual respect. In order to establish a genuine connection, an expression of full presence, and dedicated attention to the speaker, it is essential to have the ability to maintain appropriate eye contact that is neither evasive nor intrusive. The process of modifying and perfecting these non-verbal signals is an art that requires more than just self-awareness at its core. On the other hand, having a keen sensitivity to the nuances of human interaction is not about manipulating the perceptions of other people. Rather, it is about improving the quality of our presence anywhere in the world. When we make it more congruent with our intentions and values, and when we harmonize our non-verbal communication with our inner voice, we become more authentic and as a result, we become more attractive and approachable in the eyes of other people. This process of improvement is not a destination but rather an ongoing journey of self-exploration and adjustment. Through this journey, every action, every look, and every expression is an opportunity to connect with others and with oneself on a deeper level. Therefore, improving one's ability to communicate non-verbally is an exercise in empathy and authenticity, a search for a balance between expressing our essence in a clear manner and welcoming the world with openness and availability. When it comes to the intricate theater of social interactions, etiquette and good manners emerge as the subtle yet powerful instruments of a harmonious orchestration. Etiquette stands out as a prominent example of this. Etiquette and good manners are not merely archaic formalities or meaningless rituals, rather, they are the silent language of respect and consideration. Together, they constitute a delicate choreography that navigates the complexities of human relations with dignity and grace. In its most fundamental form, etiquette can be understood as a manifestation of respect for other people. In other words, it is a recognition of the sensitivity of other people and a willingness to modify one's behavior in order to provide comfort and well-being to those who are in our immediate vicinity. This sensitivity to details in social situations not only makes it easier for people from different backgrounds and beliefs to interact with one another in a smooth manner, but it also helps to weave the fabric of a more kind and respectful coexistence. As a result, exhibiting proper etiquette is not simply a matter of adhering to social conventions or following rules, rather, it is an indication of personal refinement and an acute awareness of the nuances of human coexistence. When someone stands out for their etiquette and good manners, it is immediately apparent that they are someone who places a high value on social harmony and possesses a profound understanding of how people interact with one another. This perception not only raises their status in the eyes of other people, but it also attracts esteem and admiration towards them, which opens the door to connections that are more meaningful and profound. It is more than just a matter of enhancing social attraction. The conscious practice of etiquette is a demonstration of the sophistication of the soul. It is the outward manifestation of an internal thoughtfulness and a sincere desire to make a contribution to an atmosphere in which everyone is made to feel valued and respected. We stand out not only for the superficial elegance of our character, but also for the substance of our character, reflecting a beauty that goes beyond appearances and touches the heart of human relationships. This is accomplished by adopting good manners and paying attention to details in our interactions. For this reason, demonstrating a high level of etiquette is an invitation to contemplate the part that each of us plays in the process of constructing a society that is more civilized and compassionate. It is a journey that leads us to be recognized not only for our presence, but also for the quality and integrity of our interaction with the world. It is a journey because it is a personal journey toward a deeper understanding of the value of mutual respect and consideration for the needs and feelings of others. It would be helpful if you could share your thoughts in the comments section if you are finding the lessons to be enjoyable. I am interested in hearing your point of view. Let us continue to be present in the fleeting landscape of our daily lives, which is characterized by an unending stream of distractions and an unrelenting pursuit of productivity. The practice of being fully present stands out as a cornerstone of genuineness and the ability to connect with other people. In its purest form, being present entails more than simply occupying a physical space, rather, it entails completely submerging oneself in the moment that is being shared and giving one's undivided attention to the particular individuals with whom one engages in conversation. An act of appreciation, this full commitment to the here and now, is a statement that is both silent and eloquent, indicating that the time spent together and the experience that was shared are valuable. It is especially in this era, which is characterized by the fragmentation of attention, that the practice of presence transforms into a form of resistance, a return to the fundamentals of human interaction. It is not enough to simply hear what is being communicated. Listening also involves comprehending what is not being communicated, recognizing the feelings that are conveyed through the words, and acknowledging our common humanity. Not only does active listening involve hearing, but it also involves active engagement and an energetic exchange that validates the other person, thereby making them feel as though they are seen and heard in their entirety. Through the use of this mode of communication, bridges are constructed, barriers are broken down, and relationships are nourished. When a person has the experience of being truly listened to, a space of trust and openness is created, which paves the way for a connection that is both more profound and more meaningful. Furthermore, the ability to engage in conversations without falling into the trap of distractions, whether they are physical, such as the overwhelming allure of electronic devices, or mental, such as the preponderance of thoughts about the past or the future, that is an indication of respect and consideration. In this fast-paced era, it demonstrates a willingness to value not only the words that are shared but also the time and presence of the other person, which is an incalculably valuable resource by any measure. Being present not only improves our social perception, which makes us appear more appealing and approachable to other people, but it also enriches us on the inside, enabling us to have a more complete and conscious experience of life. Through the cultivation of presence, we open ourselves up to the nuances and riches of human interactions, discovering beauty and meaning in details that might otherwise go unnoticed had we not been cultivating presence. The act of sharing oneself emerges as a subtle art, balancing on the fine line between genuine openness and the preservation of a sacred inner space. This is because the act of sharing oneself does not involve disclosing everything about oneself within the intricate web of human relationships between people. But there is no game of hide and seek with the truth when it comes to maintaining a certain veil of mystery around oneself. Rather, it is a deliberate choice to weave one's narrative with care and consideration, allowing self-revelation to occur not as a flood but as a tranquil stream that gradually unveils its depths. Not only does this thoughtful selection of what to share serve as a protector of our own vulnerability, but it also serves as an invitation to curiosity and genuine interest in the topic at hand. Mystery, on the other hand, evokes exploration and a yearning to know the other person on a deeper level, in contrast to the concept of complete transparency, which can paradoxically water down the essence of connection. It has the implication that beneath the surface that is known, there are layers that have not yet been discovered, territories that have not been charted, and they promise to enrich the journey that is being shared with discoveries and revelations. As a result, selectively sharing oneself is an organic process of relational building, in which each piece of personal history that is shared is a stone that is laid upon the foundation of trust. It is possible for relationships to develop at their own pace through the use of this strategy of gradual revelation, which fosters a mutual interest that develops and becomes more profound over time. Therefore, the level of attraction is not solely determined by the amount of information that is exchanging hands. Rather, it is determined by the quality of the connection that is formed as each new layer is revealed. That being said, the cultivation of a sense of mystery is not an act of concealment or deception. Rather, it is a celebration of the complexity of the human condition. It acknowledges that we are multifaceted, each with a rich history and nuances that cannot be fully grasped in a single moment or meeting. This approach not only preserves individuality and respect for one's psychological and emotional space, but also values the gradual nature of getting to know someone, honoring the mutual discovery process as a fundamental aspect of intimacy. Furthermore, by preserving a certain degree of mystery, we encourage the continuation of dialogue and exchange, thereby ensuring that the flame of curiosity and fascination remains alive. A subtle play of revealing and concealing, of knowing and being known, enriches the fabric of relationships, adding a dimension of depth and complexity that promises not only to keep attraction alive, but also to foster deeper respect and understanding as each layer of mystery is carefully unveiled. This play of revealing and concealing, of knowing and being known, enriches the fabric of relationships. By purchasing the ebook Stoicism in the 21st Century Ancient Strategies for Modern Challenges, you will be able to unlock your prosperity and abundance, as well as improve your relationships. If you are enjoying this, you should not miss out on the opportunity to purchase the ebook right now. Include a link in the comment that has been pinned. The development of a literary culture is inherently an endless journey through faraway lands, bygone eras, and a variety of perspectives. This is because the development of a literary culture involves immersion into a universe of letters and knowledge. But not only do we equip ourselves with knowledge, but we also equip ourselves with the necessary lenses to appreciate the richness of human diversity when we engage in the exploration of cultures through literature, languages, and the diligent following of current affairs. This journey through literature goes beyond the simple act of acquiring facts or the passive consumption of narratives. Rather, it is a continuous dialogue with the world, a method of establishing intimate connections with the infinite facets of the human experience. In order to cultivate a soul that resonates in harmony with the vast spectrum of life, it is necessary to cultivate a mind that is curious, one that takes pleasure in discovering new ideas, and makes an effort to comprehend the nuances of various cultures and languages. When you demonstrate that you are knowledgeable about a wide variety of topics, you are not only demonstrating your erudition, you are also demonstrating your respect for the complexity of the world and the numerous voices that it contains. The recognition of the fact that every culture, every language, and every current event contributes a significant piece to the overall mosaic of global understanding is represented by this. Not only does this openness and respect for diversity enrich the fabric of our conversations, making them more vibrant and nuanced, but it also expands our circle of empathy, allowing us to open ourselves up to perspectives that go beyond our immediate experiences. Not only do we succeed in capturing the interest of our interlocutors through the incorporation of diverse knowledge into our interactions, but we also succeed in constructing bridges that help us overcome the gaps of ignorance and unawareness. There is a space where appreciation for differences can translate into mutual enrichment, and each conversation becomes an opportunity for sharing and discovery, and a space where this can happen. The ability to engage, question, and reflect together on the intricate tapestry of the world is what gives rise to the intellectual attraction that results from this. It is not based on the simple display of knowledge that is the source of this attraction. As a result, cultivating a literary culture is a method of preparing for global citizenship, as well as an exercise in developing a more expansive and all-encompassing awareness. Not only do we become more interesting and knowledgeable conversationalists as a result of this process, but we also become more complete human beings who are able to navigate the world with a refined sensitivity to the beauty of diversity and the wealth of human knowledge. A demonstration of compassion and empathy. When it comes to human relationships, empathy and compassion emerge as vital forces, delicate webs that weave the essence of what it means to be truly connected with another being. This is because they are at the extremely center of human relationships. The ability to empathize with another person, to feel with the heart, and to understand the world from the perspective of another person is the fertile ground where compassion can flourish. Empathy is the ability to put oneself in the shoes of another person. These characteristics, when combined, not only bring people closer together, but they also establish a secure environment in which feelings can be expressed without the fear of being judged, and in which vulnerability is not regarded as a sign of weakness, but rather as an invitation to a more profound connection. A celebration of our common humanity, an acknowledgement of the struggles, joys, sorrows, and hopes that shape the human experience, and a demonstration of empathy and compassion are, in many ways, the same thing. Not only do we validate the feelings of others by offering our understanding and support, but we also affirm that no one needs to go through their struggles by themselves. The act of communicating and comprehending one another's feelings helps to strengthen interpersonal connections, thereby constructing trusting and intimate bridges that are able to withstand the storms of adversity. The cultivation of an individual's capacity to cultivate meaningful relationships is illuminated by the warmth and understanding that are emitted by the practice of empathy and compassion. In this context, meaningful goes beyond the superficial, reaching a level of connection where mutual support, unconditional acceptance, and joint growth become the pillars of the relationship. Meaningful relationships are characterized by these characteristics. It is an acknowledgement that, at our core, we all have the desire to be understood, valued, and loved, and that by cultivating empathy and compassion, we are able to both give and receive these priceless expressions of affection. The qualities of empathy and compassion are more than just admirable qualities, they are also practices that should be lived on a daily basis and woven into the small and large interactions that make up our lives. The challenge they present to us is to look beyond our own wants and needs, to listen not only to what is said, but also to what is silenced, and to act not out of obligation, but rather out of a genuine desire to alleviate the suffering of others. Enjoying a good laugh. In the art of weaving human connections, humor, which is that spark of lightness amidst the density of everyday life, plays a role that transcends all other aspects of human interaction. When it comes to communication, humor is not merely an accessory, rather, it is a bridge that brings people together and a solvent that has the ability to dissolve the barriers that we frequently construct around ourselves. These barriers may be the result of shyness, reserve, or simply discomfort when we are in the company of other people. When we use humor in our interactions, we not only make it easier for people to communicate with one another, but we also infuse our conversations with warmth and humanity, thereby fostering an atmosphere that is conducive to the growth of authenticity and honest communication. The universality of humor, while at the same time allowing for personalization, is what makes it such a beautiful thing. It is not necessary to have the goal of being the most hilarious person in a gathering in order to take advantage of this wonderful social tool. Comments that are strategically placed and observations that are insightful and wrapped in a light-hearted manner are sufficient to brighten the environment, thereby increasing the perception of affability and accessibility. When humor is used appropriately, it does not seek to ridicule or diminish the other person, rather, it seeks to celebrate our shared humanity with all of its flaws and peculiarities. A powerful affirmation of connection is created when two people are able to laugh together and share a moment of genuine joy with one another. It lays the groundwork for deeper and more long-lasting relationships by establishing a shared memory that serves as a bond between the individuals involved. When viewed in this light, humor becomes not only a means of breaking the ice, but also of continuously building the kind of companionship that could be considered desirable. Particularly during times that may appear to be burdened down by worries and stresses, people have a natural tendency to gravitate toward those who have the ability to bring lightness and joy into their lives. It is important to note, however, that humor that is effective is one that resonates with the sensitivity of the audience, as well as the circumstances they are in. This requires a keen awareness of the surrounding environment, as well as an awareness of the boundaries between what is appropriate and what can be shared responsibilities. Therefore, the ability to employ humor in a manner that is appropriate and inclusive is an art that, once mastered, significantly enriches social interactions. This is because it demonstrates not only social intelligence, but also care and respect for the feelings of other people, taking care of yourself in a healthy way. It is a beacon of self-esteem and resilience that self-care emerges as a beacon in the vast panorama of everyday life, where demands and challenges intertwine in a complex fabric of responsibilities. This act of taking care of oneself is not merely a luxury or an act of indulgence, rather, it is a fundamental necessity, an acknowledgement of the significance of preserving equilibrium and harmony between one's body and mind. We equip ourselves with the necessary tools to navigate the sometimes turbulent waters of existence with grace and vigor when we make self-care a priority in our lives. In order to take care of yourself, you should engage in a wide variety of activities, such as maintaining a healthy diet and engaging in regular physical activity, as well as taking time for quiet reflection and contemplation. Despite their apparent simplicity, these actions of self-worth are extremely powerful. Showing that one is committed to one's own health and well-being is an example of affirmation. This commitment not only reflects an improved state of health, but it also reflects a discernible improvement in attitudes, levels of energy, and levels of vitality, all of which are essential components of a magnetic and attractive presence. By taking care of our physical health, we provide the body with the nutrients it requires to perform at its highest level. This enables the body to receive the vital energy it requires, which in turn revitalizes each and every cell and movement. In a similar vein, when we take care of our mental health, we cultivate an inner garden of peace and resilience, which is a place where the flowers of self-acceptance and positivity take root and flourish. This harmony between the body and the mind results in a radiant appearance and an aura of well-being that naturally attracts people. It also creates a vibration that invites interaction and connection with others. Therefore, self-care is much more than a personal maintenance act. It is a declaration of intent, a testimony to the ongoing journey of growth and self-improvement. Self-care is an act that is performed frequently. We send a clear message to the world that we value our existence and are committed to living the most fulfilling and vibrant life possible by devoting time and energy to taking care of ourselves. This is a clear message that we send to the world. Taking care of oneself not only motivates other people to acknowledge the significance of taking care of themselves, but it also serves as a guidepost that illuminates the path to individual and collective well-being. A revolutionary act, a step toward a more sustainable culture of health and happiness, the decision to practice self-care is a revolutionary act in a society that is frequently characterized by burnout and neglect of self-care. Therefore, by fully embracing the practice of self-care, not only do we benefit on an individual level, but we also contribute to the creation of an environment that values and promotes vitality and well-being. Therefore, taking good care of yourself is an essential key to unlocking a richer and more meaningful existence, not only for oneself but also for those with whom we share our journey alongside us. How are you? Please take a moment to share your thoughts about our content in the comments section. Share your suggestions on how we can improve our content as well as the aspects of our content that you appreciate the most. I want to add even more value for you, and I am counting on your feedback in order to do so. I am thankful for each and every one of you who connect with our channel on a daily basis. There is a lack of availability at all times. When it comes to cultivating healthy and meaningful relationships, one of the most important factors is mastering the art of balancing accessibility with the preservation of space for independence and self-respect. This is because human relationships are characterized by their delicate dynamics. This equilibrium is not a game of artificial scarcity, rather, it is a genuine expression of valuing one's own time and energy, with the understanding that presence, both physical and emotional, is a resource that is both precious and limited. When you make the decision to not be available all the time, you are sending a strong message that you have a profound respect for yourself and your requirements. You are also establishing healthy boundaries that not only safeguard your well-being, but also give the impression that your time and presence are valuable. This act of self-valuation leads to the development of a sense of appreciation and anticipation in relationships, thereby transforming each and every moment that is shared into an experience that is more profoundly valued and richer. Consequently, it is a delicate dance that requires awareness and intentionality in order to maintain a balance between being accessible and cultivating one's independence. It means acknowledging the significance of cultivating interpersonal relationships while simultaneously respecting the requirement for personal space for the purposes of personal development, introspection, and revitalization. The maintenance of this equilibrium not only enhances the quality of interactions, but it also helps to strengthen self-esteem and autonomy, both of which are essential components for developing a genuine and captivating presence. Furthermore, by consciously managing your availability, you encourage others to contemplate the significance of respecting and valuing the time and energy of another individual, thereby contributing to the development of a culture that values reciprocity and mutual respect. The fabric of relationships is enriched by this approach to conscious and respectful interaction, which creates an environment in which the company of each individual is regarded as a gift that should be valued rather than an unending resource that should be taken for granted. I really hope that you have found this to be as enlightening for you as it was for us to create it. At this point, we are interested in hearing from you which behaviors do you plan to implement in order to improve your ability to be quiet and charming? You are encouraged to leave a comment below, share your thoughts and experiences, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. This will allow you to continue your journey of evolution alongside us. Please do not stop here. In order to proceed, select one of the videos that are displayed on the screen. I am grateful that you watched, and I hope to see you again soon.